crude in his storytelling, if you are easily offended by offensive things and crude language, etc., this might be a good time to get another beer or head to the bathroom. But for the rest of you, he's also taking part in the sentence challenge. Here is the Reverend Pat D.
You know, I really hate humanity, and it really fucking sucks and blows. Do you know that people were more concerned about who would win the Super Bowl than the realization that this country is going down the toilet? As it was the Chicago Bears. Wait a minute. Oh, that's right. The Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl on February 2, 2020. With that being said, something happened that gives me hope that things will get better. It was on February 3, 2020, when the Iowa caucuses were held, and Bernie Sanders won in a landslide. And then when the New Hampshire primary was held on February 11, 2020, Bernie Sanders won in a landslide, as there is finally hope that people have woken up and things will finally be getting better. Then on February 14, 2020, which is also Valentine's Day, Bernie Sanders has a massive heart attack and he croaks, as he was actually murdered by the real owners of this country. And that is also another reason as to why Valentine's Day really fucking sucks and blows. Also, Valentine's Day is an insult to anyone who is not lucky enough to have a piece of ass to stick their dick in. And now this shit has to happen on fucking cruddy Valentine's Day. And this horrible news got the attention of Greg. You know the Greg who was bullied by the bullies and the bunch of conformist pieces of fucking filth who bullied him because he couldn't eat a cheesecake without throwing up. Because he had sensory issues, so he brought a cheesecake to school and he ate it until he threw up, and then he took his vomit and he threw it at the conformist fucking pieces of filth who bullied him, which caused them to disintegrate and turn into liquid shit, and the fucking police showed up and shot Greg, which caused him to croak, but he's in the kingdom of David Terry. But Greg was absolutely devastated that Bernie Sanders did not just have a heart attack, but he was murdered. So he decided that he was going to come back from the dead to get even with those who are responsible for this shit. And as soon as Greg came back from the dead, he found out that those who were responsible for causing Bernie to have a heart attack, and then he got a cheesecake and he ate it and he got sick and he threw up all over the place, and then he threw it at those who were responsible for causing Bernie to have that heart attack. And then he threw his vomit at them, causing them to disintegrate and turn into liquid shit. And then Bernie Sanders was able to come back from the dead. On February 28, 2020, there was a huge rally right here in Murderapolis. And during the announcement, it was said it was going to be from a person who was running for president, but they did not say who it was. It turns out that people were shocked and ecstatic as soon as Bernie Sanders showed up. And Bernie Sanders said, "Welcome to Murderapolis." I bet you thought I was dead, but I'm not. Aren't you sick and tired of these fucking scumbags in our government? Aren't you sick and tired of watching mainstream media and all their propaganda and fucking bullshit? They actually told you that I was dead. Fake news. I'm going to be your next president. Then the crowd started cheering, and even though some people were in shock that Bernie used naughty words during his campaign speech, the mainstream media tried their damnedest to ignore that Bernie Sanders was even around to existed anymore. But as soon as he started using naughty words, they had to make an issue out of it. On MSNBC and CNN, they went on and on about the naughty language that Bernie Sanders used all fucking day long, as though there's nothing more important to worry about, like getting Medicare for all and ending homelessness, you mainstream media fucking scum. And then they said, "Bernie, use foul language. What about the children?" And during a rally, Bernie said, "The mainstream media has more important things to do than micromanage my language. And they had to bring up the children. Well, you know what the late, great George Carlin once said? Fuck the children." And the crowd cheered. So the Minnesota primary took place on March 3, 2020, and he won the primary by getting 80% of the vote. Then came Super Tuesday, which included Florida, and Bernie lost Florida because Florida is a fucking cesspool of shit. Once the primaries were over, Bernie had a slight lead over the candidate who came in second place, which was Michael Bloomberg. But thanks to super delegates, and considering that so many Democrats act like Republicans, and establishment neoliberal Democrats are scum, Michael Bloomberg was chosen to be the Democratic nominee to run against Donald Trump. Bernie's supporters were pissed, as they should be. Here's a statement from Bernie. They fucked me over again. They nominated Michael Bloomberg, who's a corrupt, elitist fucking scumbag who will not give us Medicare for all. He can go suck my dick until I come in his fucking mouth. Also, it is Florida that is to be blamed for this shit. I am going to use witchcraft and make Florida pay for this shit. On September 4, 2020, Hurricane Dick was formed, which was headed right towards Florida, which was a Category 5 hurricane with 666 mile per hour winds, which caused most of Florida to sink into the ocean, except Tampa. And that was only because Tampa has a good radio station. And there's that, and all because of that, that's what I call a celebration. A lot of people couldn't say, we couldn't remember anything because most of them are dead. Of course, both Donald Trump and Michael Bloomberg are narcissists, con artists, pieces of shit, but Donald Trump easily got a second term in office because he is capable of doing a much better job at being a bullshitter than Michael Bloomberg. The only hope is Bernie Sanders 2024 or bust.
Genre of special fiction. And keep going for Bernie Sanders.